This just in, the birthday of Jesus the mighty Christ. It could very well have been physically and factually September 11, 3 AD, using the Julian calendar, which was replaced by the Gregorian calendar in October of 1582. The Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most parts of the world today, which went into effect in the month of October in the year 1582, following the papal bull Inter Gravissimas, issued by Pope Gregory XIII, which was introduced as a modification of, and replacement for, the Julian calendar. Hi folks, I hope this video finds you well, and recently I made quite a startling discovery concerning the actual birthday of Jesus Christ, the one and only begotten Son of our Father God Yahweh, and if you'll stick around, I will explain this find by way of the book of Revelation married up with astrology. So without further ado, let's begin. First and foremost, I must give credit where credit is due, and folks, I need you to know that this information comes from the work and studies of a man named Clifton A. Emahiser, presented by Bertrand Louis Comparet, pronounced Comparet, and Bertrand Louis Comparet was a man of God. He was born in 1900 and passed away in 1983, and folks, I have been listening to his videos here on YouTube since I came across his work a few years ago. As I've said in the past, we are fed by those fed of our Father, and I came up with that phrase after listening to the messages laid forth by Pastor Comparet, and in this presentation Pastor Comparet was assisted by the work of Clifton A. Emahiser. Now, the meat and potatoes, coming from Clifton A. Emahiser, whom states he found the following evidence concerning the most probable time of Yahshua's birth. Most likely the time of the birth of Yahshua is hidden in Scripture in Revelation chapter 12 and verses 1 through 5, whereas it speaks, in these verses, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, quoting excerpts from the birth of Christ recalculated. Revelation chapter 12 and verses 1 through 5. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God, and to his throne. Side note, my friends, the woman is Israel, the 12 stars are the 12 tribes of Israel, and the dragon is Satan. Folks, John intended the woman to represent a constellation that the 2 primary luminaries transfers. Recall that astronomical signs dominated the thinking of most people in the 1st century. She could be in a symbolic way a constellation located within the normal paths of the sun and moon. The only sign of a woman which exists along the ecliptic, is that of Virgo the Virgin. In the period of Christ's birth, the sun entered the head position of the woman about August 13th, and exited from her feet about October 2nd, but the Apostle John saw the scene when the sun clothes or adorns the woman, located somewhere mid-body to the woman. This clothing of the woman by the sun occurs for a 20-day period each year. The position of the moon in John's dream could pinpoint the nativity to within a day, perhaps to an hour period or less. This may seem absurd, but it is entirely possible. The key is the moon. The apostle said it was located under her feet, since the feet of Virgo the Virgin represent the last 7 degrees of the constellation. The moon has to be positioned somewhere under that 7-degree arc, but the moon also has to be in that exact location when the sun is mid-body to Virgo. In the year 3 BC, these 2 factors came to precise agreement, for less than 2 hours as observed from Palestine or Patmos on September 11th. The relationship began about 6:15 p.m., sunset, and lasted until around 7:45 p.m., moonset. This is the only day in the whole year that this could have taken place. The Apostle John said this heavenly relationship occurred at the time of Christ's birth, and in 3 BC this exact combination of celestial factors happened just after sunset only on one day, on September 11th. It could not have occurred at any other time of the year, Indeed, even one day before, on September 10, the moon was still located above the feet of the Virgin, while one day beyond, on September 12, the moon had moved so far beyond the feet of the Virgin that it was positioned at least 25 diameters of the moon to the east of her feet. Thus only one day will do, and that time was just after sunset on September 11. This particular day just happened to be Tishrei 1, 3 BC, for the blowing of the trumpets, a yearly Sabbath. It is only reasonable that Yahshua was born on such a day, as being born on this day would give 15 days for his cleansing time after birth, before being presented openly at his first Feast of Tabernacles, with his people. It is doubtful that Yahweh would have used the Feast of Tabernacles for an event of uncleanness. Now that we have found the probable date of Yahshua's birth, even to within an hour, let us figure just when he would have been conceived. If his birth was September 11, 3 BC, and if we subtract 266 days, this would make the incarnation December 19, 4 BC, and the onset of Mary's last menstrual period before the conception would have been 280 days before the birth, or December 5, 4 BC. If all of this is true, we should celebrate the incarnation on Tishri 1, which is a yearly Sabbath that Israelites should be observing anyway. Tishri 1 would be a fitting day for Yahshua's birth, as the number 1 stands for beginning, and that was a new start for us, with Yahweh and you. Side note, Tishrei is the 7th month of the Jewish calendar, which is our September. In closing, I find this so interesting, and remember what God said, all shall be known, as his children will not begin our immortal eternity ignorant, and on that note, be well, stay strong, and I thank you so much for listening, my friends.